The world's 7 industrialised nations are meeting mast to mast to discuss building back better. The global economy is reeling from the impact of the pandemic, with nations rich and poor sinking deeper into debt, trying to keep their economies afloat. Meanwhile, the pandemic was a windfall for big tech companies that raked in astronomical profits. It's now time to balance the books.
We can make significant progress in tackling some of the world's most pressing economic challenges. Firstly, providing support to vulnerable countries through coronavirus. Secondly, making sure that we meet our ambitions on net zero and tackling climate change. And thirdly, ensuring that the way we tax large, global, especially digital companies is fair and fit for the modern age.
For generations, companies have simply been taxed on their earnings. It's a system that's worked for a very long time. But the system's also ripe for abuse, given that many companies operate in multiple countries and simply shift their profits from one favourable tax zone to another. But cash-strapped countries are now desperate for new revenue streams, possibly leading to the biggest overhaul of international tax rules in more than a century. Governments could start to use sales figures in each country where a company operates to produce a fairer tax bill. And there could be new rules to stop countries competing with each other for the lowest tax rates. That's where the idea of a minimum corporate tax rate comes in.
So a minimum corporate tax rate sets a minimum amount of tax that a corporation has to pay, depending on what its total profits are, where those profits are calculated based on their total profit around the world. So the worry at the moment is corporations can shift profits around between countries, and so they might book all their profits, they might claim that all their profits occur in a country where the tax rates on profits are very low or non-existent.
The big challenge comes with getting enough economies on board to make the plan work. In the absence of an international agreement so far, some countries, including the UK, have introduced a new digital tax to crack down on tech giants such as Google and Amazon that habitually shift profits between favourable tax zones. Talks are in their infancy, but the pandemic may have provided the momentum needed to rewrite the rules on how and where some of the world's biggest companies pay their fair share. Neave, Al Jazeera, London.